Are we live? All right, so we're here for another episode of the Aromatic Fragrances International
Live with
podcast meeting of the minds, and we decided we'd like to do a year in review for 2019.
Well, you about to do my review on live right now? Nah, let's not go there, Red. What are you talking about?
So 2019, from the company's point of view, we did very well, right? So sales lined up. The amount of work output that came through the facility was on point. Every department really had to deal with explosive growth. We did some videos on that kind of said, okay, this is how this worked, or that worked, or this is how we got through that hurdle. But what we usually do is we try to go back through what worked, what didn't, what things we'd like to improve on, that type of thing. But from media side, I mean, what were some of the big goals that you guys hit that happened in 2019?
Well, before we get into media, I was really impressed because a lot of different departments don't know the actual growth that department has had because we're just so busy day in, day out.
Yep.
So during the Christmas lunch, when you was saying all the stats,
Yep.
I was like, I didn't know they were that high.
And
That was crazy when
mind-blowing.
yeah.
So
Lab, 21,000
our
bottles.
sample department went to 21,000 samples for
That's a
2019,
35% increase from last year.
and we had a massive increase.
It's crazy.
And we knew it because we had to add several resources into that area.
Yeah.
But then we also had a lot of new people, so there was a lot of training and a lot of movement. So that was difficult.
Yeah.
And they survived it. So
Well, we survived it. I mean, I want to just give a hands of applause for AFI because I think we did our thing based off of the stats when you said.
so
I was
media's
wow.
like, man, we kicked butt
Yeah,
for
but
the
y'all-
samples that went out in the lab.
Yeah, no. I just the people out there don't know like the growth. We never give them like a number. I just think that was like mind blowing, like at least to us, and we work here, so if it's mind blowing to us. Imagine what other people think. But as far as
So
media,
media's on like this end of the facility, and then the labs in between production, and then we have customer service in the offices. So the lab is closest to media, and we're in there quite a bit, and you guys do a lot of filming in there and so on. So I mean, we saw that we're busy, and we saw there was a lot of commotion going on, and
But you
they were
never
making
know.
2 trips to UPS. So like literally, the UPS
Daily.
driver comes to the facility and does a pickup, and then at like 6 o'clock, they were taking a second load of samples to the UPS store, which is down the road. So I could tell they were struggling, but when you actually run the reports, you're going, yeah, we're up a little bit this month, we're up a little bit that month. It's not that bad. But when you run it over a year, I mean, they were struggling the whole way.
Yeah, it's crazy. They made it happen though.
So
Yeah, media.
samples are going out the door. So if we ship a lot of samples, that in turn should mean that we get a lot of
Money.
Sales.
new guy. Nailed it, right?
I said money.
So
Same thing.
orders coming in definitely went through the roof, and that's where production really was struggling getting stuff out. They worked a lot of overtime, and the numbers in that department were up roughly 25 to 30% as well. So samples were up, production was up, the team members came through, worked the overtime, got everything cleared. So now we're going into the first of the year with a clean slate. So it actually was very well.
Yeah. So I mean, as far as media, I think the main goal that we had in the beginning of the year was, hey, let's just put content out there. Let's let them know that there's a fragrance company here. Let's let it be known that we're here and we're here to stay. Let's start opening the doors more detailed as far as putting more light into what it is that we do. Now, there was a lot of trial and errors because I'm not a videographer per se, the best. I just make it happen. So we were trying to make it happen for the resources that we had, but when we saw it was more than what I can handle, we brought my boy Ansel in, but that was later at the end of the year. So going back to the beginning of the year, we just had a lot of ideas. It was a lot of ideas, and we try to execute some of them.
So what was
and
your goal at the beginning of the year?
just to be known. I wanted just content out there. I wanted people to know that there was a fragrance company out here, and we be rocking and rolling, and we the best. That was mostly the goal, and I think I was more comfortable taking on that position because I don't want to say there was no pressure, but it was more like, hey man, like we learning, we gonna make it happen. Let's start putting content out there. It's gonna take a while, and I remember telling you, bro, I don't need 6 months for me to know what I'm doing. Just give me like 2 months, I'ma know what I'm doing. Yeah, that 6 months turned into like a year, because it was a lot of trial and error, and I don't know I didn't know the fragrance industry as much as I know it now, but that's because I'm here every day learning the stuff here. You feel me? But I am proud of what we got with the number of bodies that we had, but now I feel a lot at ease because Enzo's a beast with the video. I think he showed us today. We shot a video today and it came out and he edited within the same day, and I'm very impressed with that, and I'm excited. I'm excited for 2020, but for 2019, I think it was a big learning curve. Let's see what we can do right, and what we aren't doing right, let's adjust it for the most part.
Okay, so German's outlook for media for 2019 was have people look at us and learn a little bit.
Yeah.
My outlook for 2019 was educate people on the fragrance industry so that they would kind of see what's going on behind the scenes. They would see how things are made, how they're processed, how their orders handled, really get that connection between it's not just order something on a website and it shows up, that it would actually show here's Kevin that puts in your order, here's Jody customer service, here's Jamie processing the production work order that goes to the back. Here's Jeffrey in the 2-pound lab. Here's Bonnie maybe compounding it, or Rodney or one of the other compounders. Then it would show Pappy actually packing it, and then it would show James in shipping and actually going out. So it would really show you the whole inner workings of the company, right? So that was one side. Then on the other side, we really want to educate people to show how things are actually made. So we started the extraction videos where we were showing people how to extract fragrances.
How we extract fragrance.
Out of the candles and body soaps and those types of things, which is kind of interesting because no one really knows how to do it. There's not any videos out there that like, oh, okay, you buy a product, somehow y'all get the fragrance out of it. Well, we really wanted to show them step by step, how that was done, and that was accomplished. We did 3 or 4 videos of that was very well. So the other thing was we wanted to review the products. So we went through all 4,000 items on the website. About 2,000 of them are the ones that actually had to be reviewed. So we actually hired a girl to sit there and make every candle and every soap bar. So all of that got uploaded. Yeah. Then we found out that the website really wasn't very pretty. So we had the graphic department actually put pictures on every one of the items on the website. And that went very well. So those are just some of the projects that we completed in 2019, on top of trying to get the exposure of, hey, we're a fragrance company, we're out here, if you need anything, let us know, right? So that was kind of the thought process going into 2019.
That was the gist of it.
So, from where we laid out to where we ended, I think was about right. And then next year, we'll come up with some better things and twist. I mean, you always want to do something new and inventive and something creative. So, I mean, all of that plays out in the following year.
Out of the 2019, what did you understand? Like, what was our outtake? What do you think we learned the most? What do you think was our...
Well, I think the first part is you really have to understand what you want from media. Like, who is the group that you're marketing to? What is the purpose of marketing to them or giving them media feed to where they're entertained? But we had to learn where the lines were.
Yeah.
So it might have been interesting to us, but no one else in the world cared. Yeah. Right?
That was the biggest bummer, I think, to
So, and then some of the stuff that we were really entertained on, like some of the contests and the paintball and this, that we loved, right? And then 100 friends and family were like, yeah, but the rest of the world were like, eh. Right?
Right.
So you just learn just because you like it.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing with the fragrance side. I mean, sometimes Ron creates a fragrance. He's like, this is the best ever. And then you smell it and you're like, it's kind of average.
Dang.
But it is what it is, I mean, it's not like that was a complete failure, right? You still had a task and you completed it and then you moved on. It just wasn't a 10, it was maybe a 6. But your life's not full of 10s. This one guy, he was talking about this wide receiver. And
Julio.
I forgot who it actually was, but he actually broke down the guy's career, and he's MVP, Hall of Fame and all that. And literally every play, he only got 2 feet. His whole career, every play, 2 feet. That's what his average was, 2 feet. But if he did that his entire career, that's why he broke all of these Hall of Fame. It's just the little wins over consistency, over and over and over and over.
Wide receiver though, he
that's what
wasn't
matters.
catching. Those were like little like flicks.
Well, I
like-
mean, no, he was getting 50
Yeah.
yard passes, but the next 6 or 7 or 8 or 10 were incomplete.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's
Oh, okay,
average,
yeah.
right?
How many catches he was
But
doing?
when you run his
Okay.
numbers, that's really what it came down to. It was like nothing.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame,
Yeah,
top
yeah.
player.
Yeah, I think this year we did have a lot of goals that we wanted to do. And I think I don't want to say we hit them all. We hit them all somewhat. It wasn't the big bright, what we wanted, I guess, like the exact thing, but we hit. We weren't I don't think we failed miserably. I mean, some videos weren't as good as others. but-
Media is just like sales, right? So we'll come up with some ideas for 2020, and just like we did for 2019. And some of those are going to win, some of those are going to fail, and some of the best wins that we're going to have, we don't even think of till halfway through the year.
Yeah.
And that's how it works. So we were going over our top 20 accounts, and our top 20 accounts, really, all of them had swapped except for a couple.
Right.
And some of them, I mean, literally, we're buying 10 pounders off the website that got into our top 20 within 18 months. That's crazy.
Real crazy.
But it's going to be the same way. We're going to put something together that we're going to think's okay. And then somehow it's going to line up with some event that's going on in the world, and it's going to get some sort of recognition. And then all of a sudden it's going to get massive views. But we didn't expect that when we first did it. We just knew it was okay.
Right.
I mean, that's how life is.
Yeah. So would you guys say 2019 for media was like building a platform?
I think we built a lot of content
Experimenting
for
what's
them to
working.
have. So when you come look us up, there's enough content for you to get a
Like-
gist of what we do.
So it was building a base of
Yeah, for
what
sure.
we want to do.
Yeah.
It was more like
I think 2 years ago we told the world we're here. This year we built up those platforms. I think we filled up the platforms. Every platform is full of us, and it's a representation of who we really are. I just think next year would be tweaking them in more, obviously, because now we got more help, and we got better help. We got Hans doing analytics, telling us what's working, what's not. And so with these ideas with videos and real nonchalant, editing them and making them look good, and I think we ended 2019 in a, I don't want to say a perfect situation, but I'm very happy with how things is going to end with the energy we got going on and how we're going to start 2020. I think we're all on the same page. I think we've bumped heads enough to where I think we're all seeing what, and I know you've only been here a week or two, but I think you're starting to see that we just want people to know that we're here in a, hey, look, we're here. And we genuinely want to help somebody. That's the funny thing. Like, we just want to help. Like, the people, like you said, they was buying 10 pounders 2.5 years ago. They started off 10 pounders. They bought 3 10-pounders. And now they're our top 20. That means whatever they're doing an amazing job. And we helped them. Josh was like, yeah, look, where you from? Oh, you're closer to the coast? All right, then you're going to want like a beachy smell. But, we just don't have time for every single one. So that's why we want to create these content, these videos, so we can try to talk to as much people, not 2 birds, 1 stone, but we want to knock out a lot of birds, 1 stone. And I think that was the dope thing.
Every customer gets to the same spot at a different time.
Yeah.
So you start the company, you've got the same 100 questions that the guy who started his company 2 years ago had, right? So if we can answer those questions with a video series or a vlog or a podcast or whatever platform that they enjoy, then it's helping us by answering that early.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden they're in business for 5 years, and now they're trying to find different suppliers. They're trying to buy bulk. They're having issues with automation, all those types of things. If we can go ahead of that and go ahead and say, oh yeah, when you buy your first automation equipment, this is what's going to happen. Here's the problem. Here's the issues. That's huge to them.
Yeah.
But not many people talk about it, right? Because honestly, if I'm building a finished product, why do I want all that knowledge out there? It's like Mrs. Fields cookies. Why would she want to give her recipe out there and then have some girl in the back showing how to make it real quick, and then her sales are going to tank? It wouldn't happen. But a sugar company or a flour company or a chocolate company would be like, hey, I can show you how to make some cookies that are pretty good, and you guys could probably win the game.
Right.
And all of a sudden, you're going to buy their sugar.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that simple.
Yeah.
It's
No,
that
and I think it's dope and really cool that you actually get to meet the boss, like the face of it. Like, the man that started the company, he's telling you, like, you're the knowledge, and he's breaking it down. Look, what do y'all want to know? I'm going to help y'all figure it out. And I think that's kind of cool because it's not like a facade. It's nothing that's not real. It's like you come into AFI, you're gonna bump into Josh like somewhere.
Right.
We're always looking for him, so he's always somewhere around here. So
The
you
problem
come
is
in.
I'm having the same conversation either with a new employee, senior employee, new customer, senior customer, over and over and over. So the joking thing is, have you seen Josh? Where's Josh? It's because I'm always in the middle of something. You tell me I'm the meeting king because it's either a customer, an employee, or an evaluation or something. But literally that's what becomes your job. Is you're trying to teach everybody else, here's what you need to do. And if I have to teach it 2 or 3 times, it's fine. But then I'm hoping next time you're going to be the one teaching the next person,
somebody,
right? And I mean, that's how it works.
So I guess the takeaway for 2019 is
2019 is we put some very aggressive goals in place and we happily nailed every single one of them. So for 2020, very optimistic.
yeah, me too.
There's nothing showing anything to slow us down in any department. Everything seems to be firing on all cylinders. The machine is well greased and fine-tuned, and now we're just going to see what we're going to do next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
I'm excited. I'm excited first, Hans.
I said it first.
Are you excited?
No.
I'm excited.
No.
He'll get there.
Yeah, you'll be excited tomorrow. Yeah,
Tomorrow on my off day? Yeah, I will be.
But yeah, so thanks for watching this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We got so many more videos coming in 2020, and we're so excited. And thank you guys for being on this journey for us. And we're here for any and all your fragrance needs. AFI Live with AFI, episode 21.
Has anybody seen Josh?